Hi, my name is Mahadiyo and I'm a lupus warrior. I'm born and bred in the Free State, Bethlehem. Now I'm currently living in Pretoria. It's been 16, 17 years. In my childhood, I would describe myself as the outgoing person. But because my mother was so overprotective of me, I would always find myself closer at home. I was naughty, yes. I was healthy. The only thing that gave me issues was having chicken pox most of the time. I remember most of my friends will be off sick and not go to school. One day I woke up and I'm like to my mom, hey, I'm dizzy, I have a headache. I didn't even know how that felt. But I came up with it, I'm like, don't want to go to school in my head. She allowed me to stay, shockingly. Even my mom was very strict, but that day she was understanding. My dad was a sweetheart. I was my dad's favorite person in the world. I got diagnosed in 2015. What made me notice that there's something different, that I need to go and check it out, was 2 years before 2015 I was diagnosed with ITP. ITP is when your blood clots are not clotting well. So after that, it got cured because I did like a 6 weeks of cancer. It's type of a cancer thing. So 6 weeks chemotherapy, the ITP was gone. And then 2015, when I found out that I had lupus, it was from what they saw in my blood type. I just thought, okay, it's another blood problem. Okay, we'll get through it because we got through the first one. Not knowing that it's a chronic illness, as ITP is, but it shrunk, it's gone. So I thought it would be the same thing. I'm not gonna live with it forever. Then 2015, 2016, 2017, end of 2017, I was swelling up on my face. I could see there's something wrong. So I just kept on saying, it's just a flare-up, it's just a flare-up. Not knowing that there was something growing inside me. When I tested and I found out that I'm pregnant, that's when it kicked in. My face was so bad that if I had to look at myself in the mirror, I didn't recognize myself. I started having issues with my walking. Because I was pregnant, I was always swollen. I thought it's just my high blood misbehaving. But it got so bad that even stepping outside was a mission for me. I wasn't myself anymore. I wasn't the kind of person. I like things. I wasn't that kind of a person anymore. I wasn't as ambitious as I would have been. There was no goal. So every day I just kept asking God, what's your story? Why is this happening? Why am I having to feel like this or go through this? One day he answered me and said, because you know who you are and you know whose you are, I have a bigger plan for you. So this is not time for you to quit. It's for you to sit and learn what you need to learn.
For those who don't know what lupus is, how can you help us understand what is lupus?
Lupus is an autoimmune disease. It's when the body is fighting against itself. I usually say I'm a superhero. I don't need anyone else. I'm doing it all by myself. You don't need to come and break me down. I'm already breaking myself down. And I always say, I'm so expensive because everything that has to do with lupus is a lot. The treatment, but thank God I found a public hospital in the Free State helping me very well. I don't have to spend as much, but when I was on a medical aid, the neurologist, the rheumatologist, the treatment always changing. It was too much.
So it's quite a big adjustment that you have to make.
Yes.
Sure.
And I always say, why doesn't God throw in a 2 million every year to say, here, you're taking care of this year? Because yeah, I'm expensive.
Tell me, like, what are some of the changes that you've had to make in your life since the lupus diagnosis? How has it affected your life? Be it, I hear you saying financially it's a lot, right? But emotionally, physically, and all of those things, how has it affected your life?
Lupus has affected me in so many ways. Physically, it affected my mobility. I have to have a walking stick. I can't walk in public without it. At home, I have walls to hold on to. And then mentally, I suffered a lot because I had to mourn the old Mahadiyo. Now I have to relearn this new person I am. And I have to be in the healing process. And the healing process means it's not linear. Today I'm okay, tomorrow I'm not. So emotionally I grew so much because I knew I have to be there for myself all the time. There's no one here to come and baby me. I'm an adult now and I need to have my big girl panties pulled up all the time. Even if the elastic runs out sometime, but we keep going. Yes, that was the impact that lupus had. Even spiritually, I grew. Even spiritually, I got to know God more. I got to spend my time with Him more. Le advise someone who's going through something, I always say, always put everything in prayer because He's listening, the universe listens.
Who were your support structures during this transition? Because I think it's a big change, like how you're describing. You lost the ability to walk like any other person. Now you have to use like a walking stick. That can take a toll on a person because you're now different. There's the Mahadiyo before lupus and then there's the Mahadiyo during or after the lupus. Who was your support? Who did you lean on?
When everything happened from 2017, I was in a relationship. I thought my partner would have my back, not knowing it wasn't in his plans. So he dipped. That's what 2Ks say. He dipped, and then my family had to step up. I've never seen such a good support system like that, where you always thought you're the black sheep of the family. No one cares. And something happens to you and you see how these people love you so much. They will support you through everything. They made me feel like we know this is happening, but we still see you as who we know you to be. My friends became family also. My best friend, one of my best friends, she she became like not just a sister, like a mom. I knew even when I was having contractions and the guy wasn't answering, I called her. Immediately she was there and took me to the hospital. So my support system was my family, my friends. At work I wouldn't say there was much support because everyone was just minding their own, and I had to show up as myself all the time. It was work, it was business. There's no sitting you down and babying you. So yes, family and friends. I fell pregnant 2017, December. Yeah, it started in December. We used to drink a lot, him and I, so the next morning I was vomiting so much. Vomiting black stuff, green stuff, all the colors you can think of. So he made it a joke and said, what if this is morning sickness? I looked at him like, you don't dare. Because I don't think I was ready. I was 25. Yes. I don't think I was ready. Then I took a test, found out that I'm pregnant, and my face started showing. I was swelling up. So what my doctor said was that it wasn't a rheumatologist. There's another name for a blood doctor. How he explained it was, I am no longer feeding my fetus because they found out that the fetus wasn't growing anymore. I am now eating from the fetus. So my gynecologist asked me the big question that you can ask anyone going through this was, do you want to take it out now, or do you want to wait for nature to take its course? I said I'll wait for nature to take its course. A week after, nature took its course. It wasn't nice. I wasn't happy, but the first instinct to do when something horrible happens to you is to cry. I didn't shed a tear for my child. I didn't know how to be. So it goes back to the question when you ask me that, how did I feel? I hardly ever feel what I need to feel until recently when I learned that you need to sit with your emotions for you to be okay. Don't rush yourself to be in a state that other people want to see you. Focus on you until you know you are yourself. So when that happens, I wasn't that kind of a person. So how I went through everything was just saying God's plan.
It sounds like survival mode, when you're on survival mode, you don't have time to be crying, and you feel like there's things that need to be done to go through this, right? But thinking about it now, when you started registering the impact of losing your child, how was it for you?
Survival mode, that was my living. That was my area to be in at all times. I didn't want to lose my mind. I didn't want to feel like I'm crazy. And losing my child, I kept thinking, because I look at people around me and they have kids and their kids adore them. I needed that. I wanted my own to come and jump on me like how my nephews jump on me, to feel that love, because I always said my child is my heart and he would know because it's been in me. Using him, like, I saw God's will happening in a way that I don't want it, but I wasn't angry because I've gained an angel. I always live with the principle that God knows what He's doing. He's not a God of bad things, but He's a God of restoration. He knows why that happened, the way it happened, and He has another big surprise for me coming. So how I handle myself is I motivate myself. I convince myself that you are okay.
Do you think you were able to grieve him and mourn him?
You know, they say there are 7 stages of grief. I don't think I went through them. I stayed on one, which was anger. And I stayed there over and over and over. Every May, I mourn him. I acknowledge that he was supposed to be 6 years now, 2024. And I look at my 6-year-old nephew and I'm like, this is how my child would have been. Because that's it's the age where they're more chatty. They're more snappy, they're more, you can't do that, you know? So I did mourn him, but I did not grieve him.
Who were you angry at? I hear you saying you were angry for a long time after.
Most of the time myself. I blamed myself for not being woman enough to carry a baby.
Sure.
I started calling myself things. That's when my my self-esteem went by. It went very low. That's when I wasn't okay. I was angry at God. Why? You know that thing of living in the why me? Then I noticed, why not you if you're God's soldier? I was angry at my partner for leaving me. At the time I needed him the most, he left me. And I remember when I asked him, why were you not there when I needed you? His answer was, you never told me you needed me. Like, it's supposed to come naturally. Isn't it how it works? And then, yeah, I was angry at myself, God, and my partner then.
Sure. Have you resolved any of the anger? Has it subsided, or do you feel like it's still there, especially, you know, towards yourself, for feeling like, sure, I've failed?
Towards God, I would say it subsided through the 3 things: me, God, and the partner. Towards God, I have conversations, things are happening in my life where I never thought I'd be going through. So I'm grateful that He still has a purpose for me out there, and He uses me as a vessel. For myself, I moved on. I accepted love. I used to be scared of love. I used to think love is a scam. But I am loved, and I love. And I'm seeing myself growing with this person and having a baby with them. But before the baby, marriage, because I don't want to go through the same thing again. So I am no longer angry at myself. I celebrate myself more than I could ever feel. If I see myself beautiful, I'm going to broadcast it out there for others to see. I've grown and I'm healing. I won't say I've healed. I am healing. And for the partner, then I forgave him because I understand how we all operate from a level of whatever we went through. So I feel sad for him that what trauma did you go for you to be such a person? It's not something for me to be angry about because it's who you are. And I forgave him. I didn't need the I'm sorry from him. He never said sorry. But I accepted it as it being done already.
I hear you saying you would like to have more kids and having gone through what you've gone through and how lupus affected your pregnancy. Are you not scared? Where are you? What's your relationship with pregnancy now?
I'm terrified. I am terrified. But I told myself, my boyfriend, needs to be ready for doctor visits. I'm going to have to be in remission, of course, for me to fall pregnant. I'm not there yet, but that's what I'm striving for. Even when I go see my doctors, I always mention, this is the time where I need to be having kids. So when I'm like over 37, I'm done. So what do I do now? They just say remission. So me being scared and me knowing that it's possible for me to conceive again, it helps me to prepare myself to know that when the time is right, I have to be at a certain point of my illness. I don't want to see that girl again that I saw 6 years ago. It will be a better and well-educated Mahadiyo when I step into that.
Is there anything in particular though that really surprised you about lupus or living with lupus?
Lupus is not a one-size-fits-only. You get different people. I'm in a lupus group and I find out shocking things every day. Someone was complaining about being intimate, that it's so sore for them. I've never had that problem. Someone had something under her tongue. It looked like a lump kind of thing. They say it's normal. I've never had that. On me, what shocked me was how the butterfly rash turned into something that looked like burnt marks on my face. How people were towards me. And plus, you get to know and learn more about how people can just change towards you because of a certain thing. So, yeah, that was my main shock. The change in me made the community see me differently.
And how do you navigate that, seeing that now people see you differently and treat you differently, I imagine?
Yeah, how do I navigate being treated differently? At first it used to be like, I'd rather just stay home, you know? But I adore it. I always say I'm the VIP everywhere I go. I always say, because people become more warmer, they don't understand what's happening, but their natural instinct kicks in to being kinder, and I love that. I have gone through this experience not by myself but by everyone who's been in my life, and everyone that I keep meeting, and I see them showing me what the spirit of humanity is. Boto, I'm shown more of that each and every day and everywhere I go, because I think I approach things in such a calm way that energy that I carry is felt everywhere that I step in.
How would you describe Mahadiyo before Lupus and Mahadiyo now, living with Lupus?
How I would describe Mahadiyo before, she was a people pleaser. She held on anger and sadness. I used to carry sadness with me every time, and I would feel like I don't fit in any way, so why try? The Mahadiyo now is more understanding, more loving. I'm not a sad person anymore. I'm a happy, bubbly person, and I'm very childlike. Like, you would be with me and you would feel like I'm talking to my 7-year-old, you know? I enjoy myself, and I'm not gonna try and change myself for anybody. I wasn't meant to be pleasing people. People pleasing can make you depressed because you feel people are never satisfied. That's the thing. So my idea now is more receptive to everything, but be like, you can't mess with me. If you come and do me wrong, I'm gonna come to you and tell you straight up that wasn't nice. So the Mahadiyo before held on to things. It was like always holding a crush against someone if you did something. Nowadays I don't do that. I address things, and if we see eye to eye, it's eye to eye. If it has to be over because you don't want to admit your part, because I always admit my part, then that's it.
It's like you've learned to stand up for yourself, be true to yourself, advocate for yourself in a way.
Yes, like you said in the beginning, because people see you as weak if you don't speak up. I'm not weak, but I'm sensitive, and I wear my sensitivity with pride because I'm able to feel. But don't come and think you saying this and this and that will make me not be able to do, you know? If I have to cut you off for my peace, I will do it. My peace comes first. If I have to give you space for you to find yourself, I will give you your space. What I believe is we are all adults. You have a problem with me, address it with me. We go through it, I admit where I was wrong, and we heal. So yes.
Would you say that's how you have learned to, or that's how you have been able to show yourself grace and compassion for the journey that you have been going through or you've been on?
How I've been showing myself compassion, it's the sit downs I have with myself. I always say, if you see me sitting there not saying anything or moving my lips, just know I'm having a staff meeting. And I always say, there was a time I said to my boyfriend, we love you, and then he said, who's we? And I said, me and my other different personalities. I always say, sometimes in my head I'm not alone. There's another voice there. And there's a cha-cha voice, and there's a no voice, like it's not happening. So I show myself compassion by self-introspect all the time. Everything that I find myself in, before I come and point fingers, I sit myself down before I come and address things. I need to find which emotion, and for me to do that, I don't just. You know that people, but yeah. In a certain way.
I want to ask you this because I think in my, when I try to make sense of your journey, when I sit and reflect on it, the word resilience comes up quite a lot, right? So if you had to define it, what does it mean for you? What does resilience mean? And does it resonate with you? Does the word resonate with you?
Yes. Resilient and persistent and consistency. You need to know your story, first of all. Because when you don't know yourself, someone can come and take advantage of you. So I'm so resilient to the point that when I have to make some decisions, I have to consider certain things, such as, will you be comfortable? Will you be serving yourself any purpose? I don't just do things anymore. I am consistent in a way that I treat myself, to be fair on myself, to be kind to myself. I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah, no, it does make sense, right? Because it sounds like that your relationship with yourself, it changed.
It definitely did.
Yeah. Okay.
The first Maha was more of a victim. Why is this happening? And this now Maha is, I'm being grown and groomed to be the best version I need to be.
Yeah. Would you say you have found your purpose?
I'm still searching. I have things happening in my life that I have passion for. But they're not where I want them to be. So I'm still saying maybe they're not where I want them to be, because there's another thing that needs to come and put everything together for it to be my purpose.
Okay. So what are you currently doing now with your life? What are you busy with?
I'm a virtual assistant. I help bring brands to life. Well, you are my boss, but I run your life. I know where you are, I know where you need to be, and no one can come through you except through me. Yes, I am the door to get to you. So I'm loving that. I have my own business. It's growing.
Yeah. How did you get into it? How did you start your virtual assistant business?
I have 6 years of experience in. I started off as an office assistant, receptionist, office administrator, and then I graduated to a finance assistant. So everything all at once has administration in it. Fell in love with how I saw how a business is ran, because I would find myself in meetings with CEOs, directors, them making decisions on what to do next. I was part of the support group in the company, and I learned that my passion lies in helping people. So my company is called Riatusa. We help. because I love helping people. I love seeing someone's face brighten up because I did something to make them happy.
Yeah, I think it's also quite symbolic, and it makes me wonder, Reatusa, you being that helper, that virtual assistant, could it be part of your purpose as well?
It is. It is.
Maybe.
It is. I know I'm chosen to be a vessel, and I know I'm chosen to help out a lot of people. And I'm just saying, I can't wait. I can't wait to touch more lives. I can't wait to operate fully in my own, I would say, neo gift. It is happening.
So it's good to hear. I think the picture that you're painting is that even though I'm living with this autoimmune disease, I'm still able to live within my purpose, or even try to search for it or make sense of it, and do what I really love, right? So if you had to say something to yourself, what would you say?
A letter to myself. It's been a hell of a ride, but without a doubt you pick yourself up and take on whatever challenge is there to meet. You are the strongest, loving, and most beautiful soul in this hard world. May you always rediscover yourself wherever you feel lost. You know that you can start over and over again, as long as you don't get stuck in one place because you feel like you failed. You are worthy. You are deserving. You are deserving of all that life has in store for you. Never dim down who you are to accommodate anyone. It's injustice for all the good work and prayers you have asked for. Remember that you're a student in everything. People will always have their own opinions, but you know who you are, and that is enough to carry you through every season. You've learned patience through the storm, but remember, you're a queen making moves. Continue putting yourself out there, and there will always be someone to catch you who's chosen to be a part of that journey. Everything ends. There's a time for everything. You've managed to come out of the darkness, and you decided that it's not a place you ever wanted to be in. So continue embracing and flying in the most beautiful place you will always find yourself in. Only good things are to come because you know whose you are. It's only when you accept who you are and what you are unable to do that you begin to understand the necessity of God's gift. I leave you with a quote. Try not to resist the changes that come your way. Instead, let life live through you, and do not worry that your life is turning upside down. How do you know that the side you are used to is better than the other one to come? It's by Rumi.